I tried to push him away, but with a single jerk, I collided with his chest and let out a squeal. Struggled to get out of his embrace. Leave me! Why such hurry, darling? Whispered psychotically in her ear. Wine's legs trembled and she froze in a place. Jungkook's one hand traveled from her waist to her hand, which was resting on his chest. He gripped her wrist roughly and harshly yanked her along, not giving her a chance to balance herself and walk properly. Wine continually hit his shoulder from the back, signaling him to lose the grip, but he didn't care. He dragged her into the living room where Wang Pak was captured by Jones. The entire Wang Pak, including Wine's parents, were forced to kneel down on the ground while their heads were handcuffed behind their back. Seeing this disrespect, Wine's blood boiled, but she remembered the sole reason for this condition of her pack, Wang Liam. She looked around for Wang Liam, but he was not there. What a traitor. Looks like I have to kill the entire pack before punishing the real culprit. Looked at Wang's state and grinned smugly. Wine hissed in pain as his hold on her wrist grew more firm. JK pulled her closer and grabbed her delicate jaw in his big strong hands and gave it a little squeeze, causing Wine to tightly close her eyes to withstand the discomfort. And what do we have here? Chuckled. My favorite little enemy. Mocked her sweetly while staring at her psychotically. Opened her eyes and glared at him dead in the eyes. You can never do anything right in your life, can you? Jerked her head to the side, forcing him to release her jaw. Instead of punishing the real culprit, you are hurting innocents, spoke while gritting her teeth in anger. Innocent and you people? Chuckled sarcastically. This is not the time to joke, kitten. She yelped in pain as he tightened his hold even more. Seeing Wine's condition, Wine's mother tried to move from her place, but Jeon's guard pushed her to the ground again and tightened his grip on her. Leave her! Angrily yelled while ferociously trying to break out of his grip. You guys didn't leave mine, then why should I leave yours? Roared so loudly that everyone flinched and looked down. Wine was having flashbacks as she just stared at him. She don't know what will happen now because she has witnessed his wrath in the past. Having a look at her traumatized expressions, JK sighed deeply to calm his rage down. You folks left me with no option. You made me take this rivalry seriously. So quit winning and reap what you sow. Spoke like it's the most normal thing happening. Leave my pack and I'll help you find Liam. Finally spoke. Finally you spoke, stated sarcastically. But do you honestly believe I need your help to track down that old prick? Wine again disturbed him and caught his attention by attempting to escape from his hold. He spoke after casting her a sour look. Princess, can't you see adults are talking? My all attention will be yours in a few minutes, so stay still. His soft tone scared her more. Wine stopped struggling and gave him a perplexed look. He again shifted his attention from her to Wine Dad. So where was I? Remembered. Yeah. First save yourself from me, then think about your Liam, threatened Wine's dad. We were unaware about his actions, trying to negotiate calmly because he knew they can't fight back at this moment. Okay then, I'm merciful enough to give you an option. Smirked and stared at Wine intensely, making her gulp. Thank you. Took a deep breath, feeling relieved. There is no doubt that Wang Liam is going to die by my hands. You must, however, make the ultimate sacrifice of one person in order to protect your pack from me. Stared at Wine's expressionless face while playing with her hair. Why? Hesitantly responded, understanding JK's intention. Why not? Smirk. Okay, agreed without thinking twice. Wine's mom yelled, disagreeing, and jerked wildly in protest, but she couldn't do anything. JK clicked his tongue and began dragging shocked Wine with him. She screamed and struggled frantically, making him come to a halt. He turned his head towards her and gave her a death glare. Why me? Tears streamed down her eyes. Because you are my mate. He yelled at her face, causing her to close her eyes in fear. Everyone in the room gasped loudly upon the revelation, and there was pin-drop silence for a short while. Vine came back to the reality after hearing Cora's sobs. Even Cora was scared now. Never. Shook her head and whispers. He is right. Sobs. I can feel it. Cried her. No, I am not. Stubbornly trying to deny. Yes, you are, and you clearly know it. Leaned closer to her face and smirked while maintaining an eye contact with her. Vine just blankly looked at him and responded by humiliating him in front of everyone. I reject you, coldly spoke. What are you saying? He wanted to sacrifice Vine and save his back. You are not in your senses, princess. Gritted his teeth, tightened his grip again while trying to control himself. Cried in pain and tried to remove his hand. It's better to go rogue than to be your mate, bitterly spoke. The more you struggle against me, the more it will get painful for you, dominantly stated. Threatening her, he lifted her on his shoulder and walked out while his back followed behind. Vine repeatedly punched his back, but he didn't budge. She even extended her claws and scratched his back, ripping his shirt and making him bleed. However, it looked like nothing could hurt him. Vine was deeply hurt due to her dad's cruelness towards her. Today, they made her feel like her existence is worthless. No one fought for her. Jungkook's POV. Happy now? Please don't. Happiness is not in my fate. Sighed and looked to the side with glistening eyes. The things you do are the reason of your sadness. Bluntly spoke. What are you talking about? Confused. True wolves don't behave like this with their mates. Furious. You have also wounded her in the past. Don't act like a saint now. And you punished me for a whole month. Now what should I do with you? Choose your punishment. Sigh, feeling awful. Her uncle took my mother away from me. Fired back his tears. Right, her uncle did it, not her. She is innocent. But have you seen her wrist? You nearly fractured it. I don't know about humans, but wolves don't treat their women like this. You are making me feel more guilt than I already am. Bit his lower lip while looking down. It's not like I care. Then don't ruin our lives by forcing her to be with you. Free her. Let her reject you. Never. She have to be with me for the rest of our lives. I would rather suffocate her with my presence than let her breathe without me. And why is that? Because we should keep our friends closer and enemies closer. I spent the whole night by the river fighting with Jeon, and right now he's not talking to me. I'm already so annoyed that if someone tries to talk to me, I'll probably slam my head against the wall. I entered the living room and Jin-hyun approached me. Jung, not now him, tried to walk past him. Vine. I immediately faced him and asked, what about her? Worriedly inquired. She refused to eat anything and she probably passed out while crying, I guess. Without saying anything, I made my way towards the room where she is staying. Finally spoke. Behave, warned JK. We'll see about that. Cold response. I pushed the door open and went inside her dark room. I looked around the entire room and panicked when I failed to find her. I was about to rush out of her room when my eyes caught the glimpse of her fragile figure curled up in the corner of the room. She was sleeping in sitting position while resting her head against the wall. I cautiously approached her and sat down on the floor in front of her. Dried tears increased the beauty of her red cheeks. Her hairs politely falling on her face made her look like a flowing dark river in the moonlight. Her pink pouty lips made me want to claim her as mine forever. Her long eyelashes worked like a weapon on my feeble heart. The rays of light streaming through the window made her delicate complexion glow. I admired her like there is no tomorrow. I can't get enough of her addictive scent. I'm trapped under her spell. Jeon howled happily in my mind. I raised my hand to caress her cheek but stopped myself when I remembered something. I looked down and extended my hand to hold her bruised wrist. What kind of animal I am? A wolf, but I am not to blame for your horrible deed. You did it in your human form. Made himself clear immediately. This can't let me live without drowning me in remorse for a moment. I can hear your thoughts, made a sarcastic comment as if felt offended by JK's verse. Jungkook ignored Ian's sarcastic remark and shifted his attention to the sleeping beauty in front of him. He gently held her wrist and sighed deeply, feeling a sharp stinging pain in his heart as he looked at her wrist. He heard a loud gasp and his eyes widened after looking at her horrified expressions. Looks like he up again.